Today we're going to clean up the paint on the old 1969 Chevy K20 by giving it a Comet wash. I heard about this from David Freiberger. He's done it on several of his older vehicles and they cleaned up amazing. The big thing we're going to do is knock the oxidization off the paint and clean it up, and the Comet kind of acts like a scrubbing agent. And some elbow grease. We're going to use some of these Scotch-Brite pads. I stole these ones from my wife's kitchen. Don't tell her. Just wipe it down, wet it, and add some Comet, and it's going to remove that chalky crap on this old paint and make it look pretty shiny. So we'll see how it does. I'll show you some more details as we go through the process and show you the end result. All right, here's our plan of attack. We've got the Comet wash, Scotch-Brite pad, some sponges, a towel, and a bucket of water. The plan is to wet the paint and then start scrubbing and start knocking this junk off, this white chalky stuff, residue that's on the doors and everywhere. You can kind of see just touching it, that white stuff goes away. But this Comet wash should help it clean up real good. I'm not sure what it's going to do down on the rocker. We've got quite a bit of surface rust down there, but it should knock down a good majority of it and clean it up. So we'll get started and see what we can do. We're going to start with getting some water on everything, getting it nice and wet, and then we'll start the Comet wash. I'm going to work on one area at a time and try not to let it dry out. I'm really not pressing very hard, just kind of lightly going over the paint and then working up and down and back and forth, mixing it up so I don't leave any scratches. I don't think it'll really scratch the paint. It doesn't really matter for this truck, but just try to keep it clean and do what we need to do. You can see how much dirt is coming off in the water that's running off the fender here. It's not a ton. I mean, this truck has been washed pretty well, but there is some grime. Oops, there is some grime coming off with the Comet wash, which is good. That's what we want to see. We want to see that junk being cut off the paint. There's not a lot of paint left on top of the hood. Unfortunately, it's pretty much bare metal. But what remains, we'll go ahead and clean this up, make it shine, make it look good. Alright, here's the results after the Comet wash. It looks a lot better. That blue pops a lot more. Definitely a lot more color to it. It's not chalky and white. It cleaned it up a lot. When you touch it, it doesn't feel dirty. It looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it turned out. Great way to save the old paint and give it some more life. And it took a couple hours. It wasn't terrible, but definitely lots of work. But it was definitely worth it. Way easier than new paint. What's funny is the Chevy lettering and the tailgate cleaned up a lot. The rocker panels underneath, they were really rusted, and they look really good now. Like there's almost no surface rust on the rockers. Some, but not bad. So yeah, that's the Comet wash. Pretty impressed with how it changed the look of this truck.